So, what's really going on with Russell Wilson's middle finger, and when will he return to play? This is Dr. David Chow, Pro Football Doc here. When things don't make sense, they do in the end. What everyone saw on TV was the mallet finger and the droop of the middle finger. I don't think anyone anticipated a second and separate, distinct injury on the same finger. It's now been reported that, and I'm reading here, injured his middle finger during the game versus the Rams, sustained two injuries that are an extensor tendon rupture, the mallet finger that we first told you about, and a comminuted fracture dislocation of the proximal interphalangeal joint. That is a different area. The mallet finger is here, the PIP joint is here. So the tendon is torn here, and this finger joint is fractured and dislocated. Didn't fully make sense to me at the time, and there are still some questions. First of all, if he had a dislocated and broken finger, comminuted, meaning many pieces, dislocated, meaning out of joint, how was he allowed to return to the game for a series? He even threw a pass, dropped back on third down for another one, but was sacked. He was throwing the ball on the sideline constantly and gripping. If it was a fracture dislocation that needed surgery and unstable, how was he allowed to do that? Obviously, he's very tough. Obviously, they don't have x rays on the sidelines. The initial report came from reputable national reporters that the x rays were negative. In any case, that official statement is two distinct injuries, the mallet finger and a separate distinct injury. This is very unusual. As I say, the bicycle chain doesn't break at two spots. If your car doesn't start, it's rarely the battery and the alternator. It's either the alternator or the battery, right? That's kind of what I mean. The chain doesn't break in two spots typically, but it seems to have here. The biggest and most important question is timeline and return. My initial optimism of returning by week 6 in 10 days from the injury was based on a mallet finger diagnosis. Did not know that he had a fracture dislocation comminuted in that same finger. That obviously changes things some. So I'll take the L. I was thinking that he had a chance to return early, and did hear confirmation from other reporters nationally that that's kind of what they were hearing. But then news of the surgery and the second injury came out. That changes things completely. Some are now saying 6, 8 weeks or more. I'm still relatively optimistic that Wilson can return sooner than that. They have, I think, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, and then Jacksonville, and then a bye. So the target timeline is after the week 9 bye, week 10. Week 10, in about little over a month, is when I believe Russell Wilson will be okay. Why do I say that? I think he can work his way on throwing with the pin for the mallet finger. The fracture will be healed enough, I believe, especially with the multiple screws placed to hold it. And it certainly wasn't an unstable fracture or displaced. Otherwise, how could he continue to grip and throw a ball on the sideline? How could he keep grabbing that tennis ball and doing things? So with that, I'm still optimistic. For sure, it's not season ending. I think week 10 is the target for him in about a month from now for Russell Wilson to return, and that will be against the Green Bay Packers. Wishing him a speedy recovery, and hopefully there are no other surprises, but certainly an unusual situation with two distinct injuries to the same finger. There's our thoughts on Russell Wilson. Go to profootballdoc.com for all the field views, six scores, and updates as they come. Thanks for watching.